Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. As I always say, I think behind the scenes is really, really quite fun. We really should be shooting behind the scenes, not in front of the scenes. Anyway, I have Colin Ward with me. Colin Ward is an actor. He plays the bass, I think he said. And then I told him not to say anything more because I don't like to pre-interview my guests. I like them to let me... How are you, Colin?
I'm terrific.
You know, you have a great English name. Colin is an English name.
It totally is. I took it from Colin Clive. You know who?
Colin Clive?
Colin Clive.
Oh, my dear.
Who was the... he was the doctor in Frankenstein.
So he was Dr. Frankenstein. Well, we just had a little
No, the
bit of
guy who
history
played
there.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, we're in the acting business.
That's right.
You're an actor.
I try.
What have you... How are you doing with it?
Pretty good.
And that's it?
I have, well, if you want me to talk a lot about it,
Of course I do.
You might have a hard time getting me to shut up.
I can get you to shut up. Don't worry about that.
I know. I could tell. I have two movies on Netflix right now.
Fabulous.
You know that, did you?
What movies are those?
One is called Breaking the Silence. It's a Spanish film, and I do the English overdub.
Oh, wonderful.
And it's one of the first Me Too movies from over 20 years ago. It's a modern movie, but it happened over 20 years ago.
Okay.
And the lady's just now, Navenka is her name.
Yes.
Just now coming forward. And
story.
She was harassed by the governor. And I...
Of what state?
Spain, somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere in Spain.
Okay, yeah.
All I know is every time he talked in the courtroom and outside of the courtroom, denying everything vehemently, I just translated that into English.
So you were the translator from the Spanish to English.
I was the overdubber. I couldn't translate it.
You couldn't translate it.
Ola and
yeah. You were the over, but that's also acting, isn't it? So you do a lot of voiceovers, right?
I do, and voiceovers is just as hard because it's about the emotion.
Well, you still have to
inflection.
You still have to take on the character to get the voice out there.
Absolutely.
Because it's like when I'm interviewing or when I'm interviewing the show, I say it different than when I'm interviewing you. So it's all very different.
It's all character driven.
It's all character. Isn't that what all character driven?
All character driven.
We're just a bunch of characters out there.
Look at Mel Blanc, one of my heroes. How many characters did he do?
Oh, a lot. A lot.
Thousands.
So how long have you been doing acting? All your life?
Since 1988. Well, yes, I've been acting all my life.
All your life.
You know, I left home at 16 too.
Yes.
And remember when you were little? When you were real little, we were all actors. When we played, and I played by myself a lot. And every time I went out to play, I was somebody. Tarzan or Roy Rogers.
I didn't do that. I was always me. I was not that intellectual at all. I was just a skinny little kid that had a brother and sister older and two brothers younger. But the first 9 years of my life were with my older brother and sister because the other two hadn't come into life yet. But I didn't know to play a character. I just played me.
Well, it's not so much as playing a character. It was being imaginative.
No, I didn't do that.
Using your imagination.
No, I didn't have a brain to do that. I was hopeless.
So what did you play?
Well, we would play rounders, so I would just play a game. That's all. Or we would play Monopoly. That was just a game. So a lot of the stuff...
You can go outside?
Well, playing...
mine was playing outside.
Well, mine was playing outside because playing a game was outside as well. We used to play rounders. We would play. I mean, we did a lot of outside. Yes, in those days, yes. I would not go back too far, but far enough that we all played outside. The kids don't play outside anymore.
See, I'm interviewing you.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you aren't.
I switched it on you.
All right, go ahead.
What do you want to know? I'll
let you do it. Go ahead.
I really.
Oh, I can be really hard.
I retired.
You could retire right now.
And I'd be happy. I semi-retired from playing music.
What did you play?
Bass. From one of the best bands in town at the time.
What one was that?
Cedro's Armada.
Okay.
And I sat around for 6 months. I didn't know what to do, and a drummer friend of mine.
When, just recently in the pandemic you're talking about, or are you talking
no,
about years ago?
87.
87, okay. We're going back to 87.
Mark
okay.
Barrett, you may know him. He's an agent and a drummer.
Yeah.
And he called me and said, "You want to be an extra in Crime Story?"
Yeah.
I said, "Sure.
Why not?
Why not?" One thing led to another, and I got booked on my first speaking lines on Crime Story. And Tony Dennison, who was one of the stars,
Tony Dennison, I know that name.
Yeah, big star.
Yes.
Now he is. He was beautiful, and he treated me like an equal in my first job.
Oh.
And
that's good memories.
He gave me extra lines. And
he liked you.
He said to me, lines in the movie. He goes, "Quick, who's your favorite character on Bonanza?" And I thought I said, "Hoss." But I said, "Hoss." So when I saw it back, I decided, the voice, I need to start acting lessons, and I did.
And you realized that you had to get more into it and understand.
I fell in love with the process.
It's like anything. Everybody thinks you can just go out there and be an actor. That's not true.
Nope.
Because any company that you work with or whatever you do in this world, you gotta learn it.
And my first acting teacher said to me, "I want you to go and audition for plays so that you can learn how to develop a character." And I did.
And did that help you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
I went from in the chorus to doing the principal roles.
Oh, how wonderful.
I'll tell you one funny story.
Okay, tell me.
In The Sound of Music, I was playing Georg von Trapp, Captain von Trapp.
Captain von Trapp.
In The Sound of Music at the Actors Repertory over at the Summerlin Library. And I had a quick change. There were 2 or 3 dressers there, and I came off wearing like something like this, had to change into tails. So I slip out of my shoes. There's a gal, she's undoing my pants and pulls the pants down, put the new pants on, and everybody's doing the shirt and stuff. And the girl, she buttons, she pulls the pants up, and I button the top, and she goes, what I thought she said was, "You're fine."
Oh, no. I know the next line.
So I get all dressed, and I go out. I do this whole dance segment with Maria.
No, I know, yeah.
And leave, and the whole time I was out there, my zipper was down and my shirt tail was sticking out of the zipper hole. The whole time.
And nobody said anything.
Well, how could they? We were on stage until afterwards. So from then on, I always check my zipper and before
I would imagine a man does that all the time anyway.
Not when you only got a minute to change and get back out.
But you still got to check it because that's that's the thing man has to do. So anyway,
I was thinking about my lines.
So all the acting things you've done, which is the most prominent one that you?
I really loved doing the scene on Criminal Minds.
Really?
I played a rancher, but equal to that, it was totally fantastic. There were thousands of people in the crew, hundreds of people in the crew, and it was so professional. The guy who directed it, Matthew Gubler, is from Vegas.
Oh.
He plays the real smart genius guy on the show, and he was directing it. And but equal to that, or not, if not better, I had one line in Mank, which is on Netflix.
Yes.
Starring Gary Oldman. And I was in the scene with him. Although he was far away, it was a huge...
Doesn't matter, at least you got lines and you were on there.
I had lines, but just to be on the set, I mean, because it was big time. It was big time. Oh. And to watch Gary Oldman work, and I got to meet him and tell him that, how much I loved him and loved his work, and I couldn't believe I was in the scene.
You were actually in the scene with him.
He was so nice.
So have you had big scenes or just small scenes as you've been going on in the business?
Yeah, I've had a few big ones, but Criminal Minds is probably
stands out more than
the biggest.
The biggest that you've been in. So what are you doing now? Because now we're over the pandemic. We're getting out there. People.
Hopefully.
Well, don't be negative. We're over it.
I'm not
we're
negative.
Getting out
I just know how they've been pushing it.
Yeah, but
let's not go there.
Well, no.
I'll just audition. I just sent in an audition yesterday. A lot of it is self-taping. It always was, but now it's almost totally self-taping.
Yes.
Because I was going to L.A. a couple of times a week to audition.
No, but not now.
The only time I've been to L.A. in the last year was to do the voiceover for the Spanish movie.
For the Spanish movie.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, so at least you've done that. You're still getting bookings. You're still out there.
I did some local on the internet commercials.
How far is Vegas coming up? Is it coming up? Is it getting there? Is it sort of reached this?
With companies like in the studio,
yes,
and other ones, the company that I was doing the commercials for the internet, those kids have really grown.
Really?
Started from 3 or 4 of them,
yeah,
and then they'd call me back in a couple of weeks, and there were another 5 people working with them.
Oh,
and it just kept growing and
growing and growing.
And they did really good work. I don't know what the theater is like now.
I'm sure it's going to come back, but it takes a little time. Everything takes time, but at least we're seeing, the door is opening up and people, the life. I can see it just by the driving, and I
wish there were more. Since I got into this business, I've always heard they're going to build a big studio in Vegas. They're going to build a big studio in Vegas, and I'm still waiting.
I don't think you should wait for anything like that because you're relying on somebody else.
I think it's the tax incentives that are holding it back.
Well, I know that they had the tax incentive when they gave an awful lot of money several years ago, a few years ago, for the movie industry. But then, if I understand rightly, I think Tesla came along and there was more tax money in doing their battery company or whatever it was. So they took the money from the film industry and put it in there because they've got to take care of their city, they've got to take care of Vegas. And but now I've watched it. There's more and more people filming here because you've got so many places to film.
Well, I think the reputation of the Las Vegas actor has definitely come up.
Yes, it's come up much higher.
From
there's a lot of people actually from Los Angeles coming to Vegas to do their acting, which is really cool.
And people are studying more.
Yes.
You just don't go out and do it. You have to study, and I study every day.
You study every day.
Every day.
What is your study? What do you do? Half an hour?
If it's not something, it depends.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm watching a movie, and Tom Hardy's like one of my favorites.
Okay.
I'm learning my Cockney accent from Tom.
Yeah, he's trying to do a Cockney accent. He ain't doing it all well though. What
Thanks for the confidence.
Yeah, he's getting. Oh, he's doing a great Cockney accent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I'm working on it. It's hard. It's a hard one for me. It's like doing the Scottish accent. I can do a wee bit of an Irish one, but the Scottish is really hard.
The Irish, you kind of breathe it. You kind of sing it when you talk the Irish language. It comes.
I played an Irish cop up at the Mob Museum, not the Mob Museum, but the Mob Experience at the Trop.
Oh yes.
For 6 months.
Well, that was
all right then. Step on up. You're not going to go far in your jail with that haircut.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But Scottish is.
My grandfather, he was Scottish.
That's a hard one because that accent is back deep in the throat.
Yes, back there. You have to. It's really hard to do a Scottish accent, but
I haven't finished my
life. It doesn't matter. You can do it.
It takes study and practice, and people think that unless they're naturally gifted at picking things like that up. It's a lot of work.
Well, that's like them in acting. That's like someone saying to me to do an American accent in the middle of America or whatever the case is. I can't do it. But
there's a lot of different dialects.
Well, yeah. Well, in America and also every country. I think England has so many dialects, but America has different dialects. I mean,
even the Cockney differs from area.
Oh, different. Yes, area. All different. All very, very different. So, how can anybody reach you, Colin?
Oh, they can go to my acting page on Facebook, Colin Ward Actor.
Colin Ward Actor.
And
where else?
My email and everything is there.
He's got email and everything there, so I presume that you're on all the other platforms and wherever you are. The only problem with a lot of the older generation, they don't get themselves into the media because they don't know how to do it.
That's basically what I use Facebook for.
Yes.
And I'm on Gab and Telegraph and all that stuff, but it's a lot of work besides learning the craft.
Do you like working?
I love it.
Oh, good. Okay, just checking.
I've never been starstruck about being. I just want to.
You just want to act and just be out there.
I can be, and
isn't
just
that cool?
To work.
That's nice to be the best you can be. You've been wonderful. Well, Colin's been a great inspiration to the actors out there. Much. And don't forget, if you want to be an actor, You got to go to school. You got to learn how to be an actor, and it's something you learn every day. That's like a singer. A singer has to practice every single day, because otherwise they lose their voice. And it's the same as anything. We go to work, whatever we are, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and you know, I think I put the cable in this building.
I think he put the cable in this building. Well, you did it pretty good. What sort of cable did you put in this building?
Cox cable.
Cox cable. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a good ad for Cox. Okay, Cox cable. You got it. Thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. It's been amazing. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to watch all our shows, and don't forget to share and put us all out there, because without you, nothing happens. We will be right back with our next guest. Thank you.
The city awakens and sheds the particles of the crying night, and I catch the wet memories just lifting my head off the dream. The city claims all life before the sun can rise, and tucks gently the gifts within my cupped hands, my extended understanding of hope, and an environment that sings peace. This is Perez. He knows a lot about selling houses. But what he doesn't know is nobody reads paper signs taped to streetlight poles. He needs a business video like a cat needs yarn. Luckily, Indie Film Factory is here to help, creating awesome video content for businesses like yours, taking your marketing to a whole new level. Perez, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
No, you're supposed to say thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Indie Film Factory, your video production partner. We are the underdogs. Underdogs with an impossible task. To be creative in an oversaturated market where things are complicated, expensive. Yet we continue to push forward, trying to spread new ideas and stories, regardless of the challenges. And while most of our creative endeavors are less than a Hollywood catering budget for a day, we soldier on, creating, trying, innovating. We are Indie, an army of rebels, mavericks. We are Indie Film Factory. It was a vibrant town, full of laughter and life, and the folks of Fashion Show liked it that way. People came from all over the world to this town, known for its high-end fashion and style of the West. But on this day, a day like no other, she appeared from the sun-stricken sky. Ever dream of being in the movies? Why not bring the movies to you?
And cut!
Become a filming location today. Register your home and or business at nevadafilm.com.
Recording of hypnosis session with Mrs. Betty Hill. You will go deeper and deeper. You will not be anxious or distressed. Let's go back to that night. You will remember everything. Mrs.
You're
Hill?
a diesel mechanic, and you're hungry to show what you can bring to the table. Without you, trucks don't run. Without you, equipment is idle. Use dieseltechjobs.com to find your best position.
If you enjoyed the last show we just did and all the other shows, don't forget to subscribe. Vegas Live with Ninon on YouTube. We've got plenty more coming up, and our guests are amazing. So don't forget to subscribe. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.